everybody, welcome back to the Lightning Bliss Show. This episode is going to be a little off because I'm actually taking the time to answer a question that was posted on a well-known Brony reviewer episode, Mr. DrWolf. The question was, did I feel the Nightmare Nikon in Dallas, Texas was kept to a friendly PG rating, and not for children to enjoy, as this is a franchise that targets children as a whole? Well, sadly, I don't have children of my own to experiment on this and to fully answer the question. However, I do have a nephew, who is the only Brony in the family other than myself. At a young age of 9 years old, he's a very proud Brony and loves Rainbow Dash as a whole throughout the entire fandom. I took him to my first BronyCon this year, which was the Brony Fair held in Austin, Texas. It was very family friendly, though if I were to compare it to the Nightmare Nikon in Dallas, Texas, it was rather small, a bit clustered, and not as much activity as I would have hoped for my nephew to enjoy. Granted, there were plenty of polls to go to and meets that I enjoyed, and they had interesting topics to discuss. But for him, this was relatively boring. He sat there most of the time and fiddled with his merchandise, waiting for the meet to be over just so we could go around and do other things like looking at the merchandise for the most part. There really just wasn't that much children activity there that he would have liked to enjoy personally. And sadly, I was unable to bring him to the Nightmare Nikon due to the distance and the expensive tickets. It was just too much for me to cover. The fact of the matter that Dallas is a good 4-hour drive for us too made me feel a bit worried about keeping him safe so his parents wouldn't worry. After all, Dallas is a big city for us, even for me, and I'm a born-raised Texan. However, I do know that if I did take him to the Nightmare Nikon, I believe he would have had more fun there than at the Brony Fair. There was singing, games, video games to try out, a bigger merch shop, and not to mention all my friends from the Rip Cafe were able to attend were there as well. I even got to meet DrWolf in person, along with his brother, though only briefly, and, well, I didn't make much conversation with them. This was of course due to my own shyness and concerns of overstepping my boundaries with someone I never physically met before. This is kind of like how my nephew behaves around others too. He's so kind and gentle and unwilling to ruin any pony's time that he's willing to sacrifice meeting famous people in hopes that they will have a more enjoyable day. For me, that's the same in my regard. However, I feel that in the Nightmare Nikon there were so many fun and playful activities to do that eventually got me singing, laughing, and dancing as well, and would have done the same for my nephew too, I believe, in the long run. So in regards to answering DrWolf and his brother's question, yes, I believe Nightmare Nikon did well keeping it PG for the most part. There were plenty of children I could see enjoying themselves from what I could tell, as much as the adults, and I could speak for myself, it's one of the best memories I ever made as a Brony. I thank you for your time, viewers, and look forward to speaking with you next time. Until then, I remind you all to keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.
Rainbow bright, see the shining light.